Okay, on the bench today we got a 2018 Ford Escape 6F35 1.5 liter turbo. This one had loss of power, loss of acceleration, gear ratio codes for 3, 4, and 6 gear, and 2 different element apply performance codes. So you know what that means. We got some internal problems. The 13. This one is for the customer has a aftermarket warranty on the car. We work with warranty companies quite a bit. Not a huge fan. I think a lot of these warranty companies are over-promised, and when it comes down to it, they under-deliver. This one they're asking, we've given them all the codes, we've given them all the fluid samples, they've checked everything out, and they want us to tear it down and give them a point of failure. Now, the last time we did this, it was on a Traverse with a 9-speed in it, and of course the point of failure was the torque converter. There are other things wrong in the unit, but what caused the failure was the torque converter. And they came back and said, well, we're only going to cover the torque converter because that's the point of failure. And we're like, well, there's other things in the unit that are causing problems. They're like, well, those were caused by the torque converter failure, so we're not going to cover those. I don't think that's right, but you know, we have to deliver the bad news to the customer, and then they call and fight with them, and it's a losing proposition. So my advice on warranty companies, I don't know how they're getting sold to people. I don't know what they're promising people, but people come in and think that they're going to be zero out of pocket, and it's all encompassing, covers everything, no issues. They don't. They rarely cover. There's a lot of exclusions in them. And depending on how things fail, they're always looking for ways not to cover things. So just be prepared for that, and understand. I would look at those warranties not as a warranty, but more of as an insurance policy. You buy medical health insurance, and depending on the policy you get, depending on how much you pay for it, it's only going to cover it. Some cover everything. Some are Cadillac things, and they pay all for it, but they're expensive to buy. And some are cheaper, but they don't cover as much. So I would look at these warranties more as insurance policies. Depending on what you buy, you are going to be out of pocket a certain amount of money to get the proper repair. And some of these warranty companies will push back, and you know, they've started to, I guess, band together, and they've got shops like big multinational shops, you know, like the Mavises and the Amcos, and they're getting contracts with these companies. And Silver Rock was a big one. They actually, I saw the memorandum from Silver Rock and Amco where they had an agreement, and basically Silver Rock sends all of their policyholders to Amco, not just for transmissions, for whatever is going on with the car, because I guess they've rebranded the Total Car Care facilities. And so if you're with Silver Rock, they're going to try and push you to Amco. They've worked out labor rates, they've worked out pricing, and they're just kind of like come to agreements on what they're going to charge, what they're going to pay. Because a lot of times the companies are looking for the cheapest alternative to get your car fixed. They don't say that. They say we're going to go look for the best price, which is code for the cheapest. Now, is the cheapest repair the best repair? I would say no. When I'm looking to get something fixed in my house, a plumber or an electrician, do I want to find the cheapest plumber or electrician? Absolutely not. I mean, that's my house. I want to make sure it's done correctly. I want them to be licensed, insured. I want to make sure if something happens, they're going to take care of it. And some of the products they're getting are subpar, and they're just the cheapest crap out there. And the warranty terms sound good up front, and then once you have to use them, it all goes to crap. So just be careful with these warranties. If a lot of car places are selling them, if you get them, just know that they're not all encompassing, no matter what they say. And read the fine print for sure. So as we see, we've got some major metal here. These 6F35s are bad about torque converter failure, and I believe that's what's going on here. So that's the point of failure, is torque converter. So I'm gonna have to be careful how I word this, because my first duty, he said duty, my first duty is to the client. Like, I want to make sure that I get every dollar I can for them from this warranty company, because it's a big game to them. Their goal is to pay as little as possible. They're not sitting there like, how can we best serve the client? No, they're looking at what's the cheapest amount of money we can come out of pocket to get this claim settled. So they use a lot of weird verbiage and things like that to try and get out of paying. And so I have to kind of like word my stories certain ways and not say certain things, so they don't try and use their legal mumbo jumbo to deny or not pay as much as they should on a claim. So I'm not going to say this is just a converter failure. I'm going to word it so that, you know, we've got a torque converter failure, and I'm going to bet if we got performance codes, we should have some burnt clutches in here. I'm really hoping to see some burnt clutches, so I can word that in there. Because I don't want to see the client get shafted on this. I want to make sure they cover, I get as much money out of them to cover the client's vehicle as possible. Got all the Torx bolts out, and we got a 10 there. Nope, no, that one didn't come off. They love wasting your time. We've done, you know, they'll ask us for pictures and teardowns and samples and all kinds of stuff, and then they'll send an inspector out, and then the inspector will see the same stuff we're seeing and then report back to the warranty company, and they still will deny something. And they're ridiculous sometimes. I'm not a big fan, but it's just the way the industry's going now. These got a little gasket transfer there. You gotta be careful of that, damage in that gasket. So there should be a new plate because it's pulled the gas material off. It's just the way the industry's going with these now, unfortunately. I mean, it's not really, I'm not going to blame the people buying the cars, because these car dealerships are really push these policies. A lot of metal in that sensor. They push these policies hard, because I can't confirm it or say yes or no, but I think they get a kickback or some kind of favorable commission by selling these policies. And so they push really hard to sell them to you. And sometimes it can be beneficial, but like I said, it's just the way they're being sold, people think that they're all inclusive, and they're not. So just if you understand it's not an all inclusive thing, you'll be better off when you actually, it's time to actually use one of the policies. So if you bring your vehicle to us with the warranty company, that's fine. We can handle it. We can file the claims, we can get it all rolling. But at the end of the day, the ball is not really in our court, what gets covered and what doesn't get covered. But we will work for you to do our best to write the best story we can to try and get the most covered that we can. Just know that it is a fight. It is a fight. They will look for any reason not to cover something. But we do our best to try and get things covered as much as possible. Got our dowel pin there's a little bit cooked. So Ford uses a lot of RTV on these, and GM uses a gasket, which is nice. Try to get this in there, and I don't want to damage the case. So you gotta be gentle. Ugh. So just want to work this up a little bit. There we go. There we go. She's loose now. Alright, so this bell housing half has the pump attached to it and the ring gear in it and the filter and all. So I'm gonna put my fingers in here, they're gonna get jammed up. There we go. So there's your pump, filter, ring gear. Everybody's at the party. Differential. And we got our oil dam. A lot of metal buildup, there's a lot there. It's from all the converter coming apart. There's a sprag issue in these converters. A lot of these transmission cars will shake really bad when you put them in gear. It's from a sprag failing inside the torque converter, and that's a mechanical failure, so then you got metal going everywhere. Come on. This case likes to wear. The bearing wears into the case right here. Not too bad on this one. Alright. And there's that. These are bad. Bushing wear is prevalent in these also. Gotta watch out for that. Get our parking pawl pulled out. Yeah, we need 8mm. Chain guide. Oil dam. This just keeps, the goal for these oil dams is to keep oil from amassing where the chain drive runs, because if the oil accumulates in where the chain drive is, that's going to cause aeration, and if the fluid aerates, the pump's going to try and suck up air, and that's not good. You can't pump air. Well, you can, but it doesn't work well in a hydraulic circuit. Air is not good to apply a clutch pack. There's a big old honking snap ring in here. This holds the entire gear train in. Alright, now, if I am lucky, I will be able to pull this entire gear train out. I need some grip. Sometimes it'll come out, sometimes I take it out in pieces. Oh, you screwed me on that one, didn't you? Oh, the one-way spread got caught in the case. Cock sideways. Alright, set of clutches here, looking okay. This is the apply support. We got the low and reverse, usually low reverse, and you're not gonna lay. I think this is the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch. I believe I said that real quiet because I'm not sure. All right, then we have. I think this is the. I'm not even gonna guess. I have to look it up. Look like they're decent. Yeah, it's low and reverse because it goes that way. I think these are the 1, 2, 3, 4. It might be the 2.6. It might be the 2.6. Yeah, I think it's the 2.6. All right, so there's my issue there. See this friggin' one-way clutch got cocked sideways in here. It's a bit of a B word. Check our planetary pinions. Feeling okay there. So we'll just take the planet sets out one by one. Fine, we'll do it your way. But it feels okay there. Shoe there. And so this splines into the one-way clutch. Okay. Now let's see if we can. This is gonna be. It's just you get it cocked just the wrong way, and see it falls and then it catches. It falls and it catches. So we'll put it back down there at the bottom. Okay, now it's fully seated. Now if we just bring it straight up slowly. There we go. One-way clutch is one way in. And let's see here. Planetary sound. And these clutches look decent. I believe these are the forward 1, 2, 3, 4 clutches. And we got bearing. And these are going to be 4, 5, 6 and 3, 5 reverse. So these are your 1, 2, 2, 6, low and reverse, 1, 2, 3, 4s, 4, 5, 6, 3, 5 reverse. Very similar setup, a lot of same clutch names as some of the major 6-speeds. Not seeing burn up clutches. Let that drain out. No ring grooving in there. It's good. So I'm gonna let this drain a bit. There's a lot of fluid. I have to get a snap ring out of here, and we'll get the 3, 5 reverse clutches out. And then we got piston set down here. Snap ring pulled out. This holds in the return spring for the 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch. There we go. Piston out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 piston. Lots of fluid in here, nasty fluid. There's our ring tower here that seals all the clutches here. I'm gonna pull that out. Let's drain it. So this is going to be a start-stop model. It's got the motor in the back for the start-stop. So I'm not seeing any burnt clutches, which is not good. I mean, I was hoping for some kind of bone here, because right now converter failure is what's causing the whole thing. So likely the converter failed, that filter got stuck up with debris, and that's what caused starvation, which gave the ratio codes and the performance apply codes. So I'm getting kind of stuck here in a hard spot. I have to tell them that, you know, the point of failure is torque converter. And honestly, I mean, with 130 something thousand miles, it's time to go through the whole unit. So what they're going to expect me to do is put all these old parts back in the unit and just put a converter in it and clean all this stuff. So they're not going to cover cleaning and everything out, because I mean, this is everywhere inside. So inside the pump, inside the gear train, inside the clutches, inside all the pistons. So all that's going to be taken apart and cleaned up. They don't cover that. They're just going to cover putting a converter in it. Because these people sit behind a desk and they don't understand what's involved when these things fail. And there's one other thing I can show you. Let's see if we can get this. Just a byproduct of converter failure. So in my mind, if the converter fails like this, like, it's not like, they're not separate parts. They all share the same fluid. They all share the same space. If it's something, if the torque converter fails, it affects the whole unit. So why are you denying a rebuild when it's what it needs? Plus, taking this stuff apart, I mean, some of the stuff I can't put back in there. So they're going to expect the client to cover the rest of this. And that's not what you paid for when you bought the warranty. So all these cylinders are held in with little pins here. And let's see if I got to mark these before I take them out, but I'm not going to take them all out just yet. Let's see if I can find a nasty one. Here's what happens when the torque converter fails. So these solenoids are like little electromagnets when they come on. And do you see that? There's metal just caked on this solenoid. Now, it shouldn't get inside here, but down here, it does. And there's a little pintle inside there. And now it's covered, caked. Look at it, caked with metal. And they're not going to cover that. Not their problem. We're just going to pay for a torque converter. What do you do? I mean, I don't want to be the bad guy, but I mean, this is what's got to be done. This is bad. Every one of them. Look at it. So I'm going to try and see if I can put these solenoids on there as failure points as well. I don't know what they're going to say. You know, they send out inspectors, and even we're cool with a lot of the inspectors that come out. But even when the inspectors tell the bean counters what's going on, they ignore them too. It's like, why even bother sending these guys out if you're just going to ignore them? You're going to do what you want to do anyway. They just have to follow a protocol so they don't get sued. It's got dampeners. These aren't the same type of dampeners in the GM 6-piece. They're a little different. They're just basic dampeners. They're actually a ZF design. Ford stole that from ZF when they were using their 6-speed design. They're pretty effective. They don't wear nearly as bad as the GM ones do. And here's your pump. So let's see if this thing's... These have issues with the pressure regulator valve also, but it doesn't cause the same damage as the GM ones do, because like I said, there's a sprag issue in these, not so much a pressure issue. Alright, lots of bolts, lots of bolts. There's metal everywhere. What are you gonna do? Our pump. Pump gears. This one's a G-rotor pump. I know we've looked at different pumps before. They call this a G-rotor. The converter spins it, and this kind of spins around, and I can't make it stay straight, but the outer one, it compresses the fluid in these little cavities, making the pressure. It's a pretty hefty pump. It'll put some pressure out. Got a little damage to the gear, and looks like the pump housing sustained a little bit. The metal is the metal running through this thing. So this is the PR valve here. Let's see if this one's got any wear. This is part of the updates. It's pretty sticky. Like, it doesn't want to come out. Goes. Yep. So this land here suffers pretty rough wear. You can see the color difference between the non-worn parts and the worn parts. See, it's lighter here. That's the anodization wearing off. So the PR valve definitely had some hurt, some wear to it. So, all right, well, we're going to present it to the warranty company. They're probably going to send an inspector out. We're going to try and show them the solenoids and show them the pump and let them know that all the metal in here and the converter's gone bad. The coolers needs to be replaced because it's packed full of metal. So we'll present all that to them, and we'll fight our best for the client and see if we can get them to pony up some dollars. So thank y'all for watching.